So, hello, friends. I'm happy to welcome you all to this special episode of TechTalk series from Quadrant Knowledge Solutions. And today, on how logistic service providers can manage different workflows for multiple clients across the geographic boundaries. So, I have with me today the esteemed speakers of this episode, Mr. Jeff Englund, who is the Vice President of Professional Services, the Account Management and 3PL at HighJump, which is the Körber Supply Chain Software. Then we have Kristi Montgomery, who is the Vice President of Innovation, Research and Development at Kenco Logistics Services, who is also apparently a strategic thinker, innovator, and a value creator. Nice to meet both of you, and welcome to the show. So,
Thank you.
as you all aware, that increase in the e-commerce transactions, the fuel market volatility, and the fluctuating demand have all impacted the global transportation supply chains. So, also the changing customer preferences have increased pressures on the speed and quality of service throughout the industry. So, I would like to start with Kristi. Kenco is the third-party logistics company, right? So that provides integrated logistics solutions. So what
Yes,
kind
that's,
of, yeah,
that's
so what
correct.
kind of, yes, what kind of challenges does your business encounter with in general, especially in managing the different workflows for multiple clients across the geographic boundaries?
Well, I think Shekhar, as most providers would agree, the labor market and space constraints right now are probably the largest challenges that we face. But as you look across the landscape of over 100 plus customers and facilities, a one size fits all is not the way it works, right? So we have to have technology solutions as well as process solutions that fit a number of different types of business workflows as well as products and profiles. And so that's a challenge for a third-party logistics provider, and we're constantly in search of partners who can help us meet those challenges.
So for these kind of challenges, what are the normal solutions you look for?
So first of all, we have to have a really good set of integrated execution systems. And when I say that, I'm talking about warehouse management, labor management, transportation management, those type solutions that are foundational to being able to run logistics for a Fortune 500 customer. But then you layer on top of that, automation and robotics and things that allow us to be more efficient, more productive, speed to market much quicker for our customers. And then now we're looking at how do we bring in those different technologies in a way that positively impacts productivity instead of causing a change management nightmare. So when you look at we have 3 different WMS solutions, we have 2 different transportation management solutions, we have 2 different labor management solutions. So you start looking at the complexity of how do you manage all of that. And then now we're beginning to really layer in automation and robotics and really pinpoint the customers that those best fit. So bringing in things like Locus Robotics and AutoStore, 2 very different automation solutions, but drive productivity and efficiency in 2 of our customer networks. So.
Okay. So Jeff, as Kristi mentioned, challenges which their business can face currently or also in future. And also there has been a huge disruption in the logistics and transportation services all over the world due to various reasons. So how is Körber Supply Chain Software is helping its customer in this third-party logistics service segment to tackle these kind of challenges?
Well, I mean, truly the third-party logistics industry is, and traditionally I would say public 3PL is probably the toughest job in supply chain. It's very complex. There's varying degrees of seasonality, need to address the customer commitment, all delivering against a timeline, growing e-com and fulfillment market space that Kenco's been growing with as well. I mean, they've been a long-term partner. So we've got our K-Motion Enterprise 3PL solution in play, as well as robotics, and we've got solution support in their e-com and fulfillment industry. but it is I'd say, easiest to say, it's the toughest job in supply chain. You've got multiple owners of product that you're all trying to service to meet the ever-growing demand.
Okay. So overall, if you want to mention the partnership with Kenco Group, how exactly it started and when was that?
I believe 2016. I mean, we had relationships with Kenco prior to that, just in their leadership. 2016, the solution evolved. It's cloud-based through OCI. We've got 2 solutions in there. I would say somewhere around the 500-600 user mark across multiple facilities, hundreds of customers. Again, varying workflows, automation requirements, labor reporting. Kristi and team have been working on the AMR solutions with Locus and the other vendors that we are currently working on. But that's really the breadth of solution on the execution side, really creating flexible, scalable, and efficient solutions for Kenco to meet their client demand.
Okay. So, Kristi, if I want to ask you that when this partnership started and whatever solutions Körber provided, so how was the how exactly these solutions help your organization address the pain points or the challenges which you just mentioned in ensuring the smoother goods flow through the transportation supply chain?
Yeah, so the relationship started when we were in search of replacing a homegrown system that we had developed primarily for our multi-client type operations, where we have multiple customers in one building, and we were using another tier one solution for more of our regulated environments, and we were seeking to replace this homegrown system. And that's how the relationship developed from as Jeff said, purchasing the 3PL solution software set from Körber. But over the last, I would say 3 or 4 years, just we've developed a different level of relationship. So that group works with our IT group under, the auspices of executing the day-to-day business and improving on that day-to-day business. In my role, in an innovation role, I work most closely with Körber's robotics group, an automation group, and really how do we now transform our customer supply chain? We've got great systems that are integrated, that are driving continuous improvement, but we want to take it to the next level. And so how do we introduce workflow management, change management, automation, robotics, things that are really going to drive the next level of productivity and efficiency for our customers. So the Körber solution has evolved the relationship has evolved over time and grown into different areas of helping us with our business and customer service needs.
That's fantastic. So overall, if you want to elaborate further, how was the overall experience in working with Körber from the perspective of your organization as well as from the perspective of your team?
I mean, it's been a great relationship. There's definitely been give and take, and we've grown together. I think there are things we have brought to the Körber team that we would like to see, implemented in future releases of the software, and that's happened as we help, drive some vision there, and they then, in turn, by putting it into their solution, drive value back into our supply chain. And then, as we started working on, AMRs and our e-commerce distribution, having Körber help us vet out the solutions that are on the market and look at what would be the best fit for our operation was valuable. And then helping us get to, a lot of times you have automation vendors who put out an ROI that's a little unrealistic. And so helping drive, what's real and what's valuable and a conservative viewpoint so that we weren't over-promising and under-delivering, right? We wanted to make sure that when we went into that facility, we would actually hit the goals that we set from a metrics perspective for success of those automation projects. And so we did, and that was a great partnership and deliverable that we brought to that e-commerce customer. So
what about the training part?
The training was great. We worked with Körber to make sure that we were well ahead of rolling the robots out into the facility. So we did a Locus implementation with Körber, and we went in with a lot of excitement around the robots are coming, and made sure that our employees understood that we were not looking to replace their jobs, because that's always a concern. And then we did some contests and some quizzes and things that helped them get excited and be prepared for what was coming. And so there was a lot of hands-on training. So the great thing was we were able to have a test environment where we had the robots that could actually go and do parallel pick projects during our, ramp up to go live. And so they were able to go out and pick product just as if they were doing it live in a test environment. And so that really helped with them understanding how it was going to work on day one, and that there was nothing to fear, and it was exciting, and it was going to help them do a better job.
Okay, so overall, it was like a very kind of one team experience.
Yes, and the interesting thing is you had several teams involved in that. So we had Locus, we had Körber, we had, of course, the Kenco operations team, Kenco IT team, Kenco innovation team. We even had our risk and security guys looking at how the robots were moving in the facility to make sure that they weren't jeopardizing safety of the employees. We had, another third-party vendor that was helping us with some other connectors to other automation. So we had a lot of teams that came in, but we all pulled together into, one ultimate goal, which was to make our employees happier with their jobs and more successful at their jobs. And I think we pulled that off very successfully.
Wow, there's so many people involved in that operation, right?
Yes. Yes, it was a large team.
Okay. Okay. So Jeff, going forward, how are you taking this partnership further? How are you going to strengthen? Are there any more plans to integrate with Körber's entire the portfolio of solutions?
Yeah, I mean, again, Kenco, very collaborative partnership. We are in pretty constant contact with them, regular meetings, understanding where their growth strategy is, what emerging markets, what evolved market industries they're getting involved in. So yeah, very close collaborative relationship, looking over the horizon as to what we need to do next, both from a business and software perspective. And, Kristi and the rest of the Kenco team are great partners, looking at, again, scalability, adaptability to the existing solutions. How do we create more efficiencies within what they have today through consulting or through configuration? Kenco is a very strong user of our applications as well. And then looking at other emerging solutions, continuing with robotics, voice, just again, introducing efficiencies, scalability, and layers of adaptability into the solution stack that they have today, or introducing some of the broad range of solutions either from Körber or, as Kristi suggested, other vendors. How do we create that scalable, efficient solution so they can grow their business?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Jeff, also I want to ask you, since you have been working in the process automation and application implementation of supply chain technologies, so can you just highlight or take us through the emerging trends in this area, and what can we expect from Körber in the next few years?
Certainly I can. I mean, with Körber, delivering market leading solutions is one thing, but having a team looking on the horizon as to what's coming next. Again, evolving partnerships, various AMR, emerging technologies, AI, really that unification layer, right? As supply chain becomes more complex, we need solutions to identify those, bring them all together, a unified commerce layer, et cetera. So, we're constantly looking at digitization, automation, artificial intelligence, continued AMR. So we've got an entire team really looking out in the horizon on that aspect as well, while continuing to evolve ever-evolving security challenges. The marketplace constantly changes, introducing, we are a cloud-first customer and vendor. So all of the aspects that surrounding that security, SOC compliance, et cetera, in supporting and protecting our customers' data is a big initiative as well within Körber. Yeah, so I mean, overall, looking on the horizon, understanding the new technology features, et cetera, that Körber can take advantage of, bring to their customers, as well as overall, digitization, automation, et cetera, working with great customers like Kenco, I'd say longtime partner. And that's really what we look for in a customer is not being a vendor delivering a solution, but that truly collaborative relationship that we have with Kenco and other partners as opposed to customers.
That's correct. So Kristi, going forward, I'm sure there will be more challenges on the way, or some kind of more expectations from your vendor, like from Körber. So do you expect or do you anticipate some kind of challenges in the coming years? And what kind of solutions do you really expect from Körber?
Yeah, I think Jeff alluded to it. The supply chain industry is becoming more and more complex, and yet at the same time, everything has to happen at a much faster pace. So the demands of the customer who is, buying an individual item to send to their home from a direct to consumer perspective are starting to become the business to business demands as well. We want to be able to, ship within one day, or I want to be able to receive it within 2 days, even from a business to business perspective. So I think complexity and agility and flexibility are all increasing in the supply chain industry. So we look at it much like an ecosystem, right? We have a lot of partners that we work with. As you would expect in a 3PL space, not one partner can fill every single challenge that we meet. So what we're looking for in our partners like HighJump and the Körber relationship is really to blend into that ecosystem, integrate as best, best in class integration, and help us build an ecosystem that delivers success to our customers, and helps drive continuous improvement, helps drive transformation, digitization of their supply chain, in a fashion that allows our customer to meet those continuing to change business to business demands, as well as their direct to consumer. A lot of our customers are moving more into that omni-channel fulfillment, multi-channel fulfillment. They now have several different channels that they're trying to fulfill out of a single distribution center. We need partners that are going to help us drive success in each of those areas and not be singularly focused on a very specific niche in the market. We need broad application, ecosystem of partners that can plug together and work well together. And so that's really what we're looking for as we look at emerging trends. And then beyond that, from a transformational perspective, and how I look at the market is, how do you then draw in those entrepreneurial companies and startup companies that are doing really amazing things in the supply chain, but aren't quite there yet, if I can say it that way. How do we help them get there? As folks who have been in this industry for a long time, but we see the potential. How do we partner together and help those companies be successful and add to our solution set?
I think that's the great example of a successful partnership and working as a team instead of this kind of a supplier and a service provider. Yes, that's the great example. So, Jeff, if you would like to sum up this partnership, what would you say?
I would say, truly a partner, highly collaborative, open, transparent with the challenges are really on both sides, where, as Kristi suggested, where we can assist, and maybe some, areas that aren't our best, where we would bring a partner in. We've had many successful engagements as Kenco's continued to grow and expand their service offerings. Whether it be, everybody knows the e-com fulfillment market has gone crazy. I do anticipate that continued growth, whether it's through, again, voice, robotics, material handling, automation. Really, where we work best with our customers is that open, collaborative, transparent relationship. Understanding where the pain is, how we address it, clear goals, scope of the engagement, to really deliver those efficient solutions, right? They've got to be scalable, they've got to be flexible. Again, especially in the 3PL market, you don't want to deliver something that is so narrowly focused that will never fit for somebody else. So you need to build in that flexibility and those layers of adaptability in that tool, in that integration, and in the solution. Because at the end of the day, customers like Kenco have to go to the market and have their solutions be able to be evolve, right, to meet that market change. So that's really what we look for in a relationship with Kenco, and it continued to prove very well. It's very successful. and allow both organizations to grow both from a technical perspective and relationship perspective. So overall, great relationship. They are a premier partner for Körber.
That's great. I wish you all the best for strengthening your partnership further and have an effective collaboration. So that's it from my side. I personally want to thank you to both of you for your time and for participating in this event and putting forward your thoughts so clearly. So it was like a good advantage for me also to upgrade my knowledge in this area.